Welcome, everyone, to the Insurance Perspectives podcast. This is part one of our series on Jumpsuit Group. On today's show, we have Chris Fitz and Scott Smith. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Brad. Happy to be here.
Great to see you. Nice to meet you, Brad.
Nice to meet you guys. Looking forward to today's discussion. Chris is the president at Fitz Insurance, based out of Southborough, Massachusetts, and is a third-generation agency owner with over 30 years of insurance experience. Scott Smith is the co-founder at Jumpsuit Group. Scott joined the insurtech industry in 2015 when he co-founded Jumpsuit Group with his partners Dan DeFina and Connor McNeil. He is an entrepreneur at heart, starting his first business in high school. When he's not helping insurance agents at Jumpsuit Group, you can find him on the golf course. He was the captain of the 2014 Massachusetts State Championship golf team and went on to compete at Hofstra University. Scott, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me, Brad. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with a real tough question. What is the best part of your golf game?
That's a good question. Honestly, it's either my tee ball or my putting. And when my driver's hot, I can hit the ball pretty good ways, but it's either one or the other these days. And the putter can get hot as well, but it's tough to line it all up.
What costs you the most strokes?
Oof, probably overthinking things and trying shots I shouldn't be anymore, and just keeping it in front of me, and that's it.
Tell our audience what Jumpsuit Group is and what they do.
Jumpsuit Group is a digital marketing and lead generation agency specifically for independent insurance agents. When we started, we were really generalists, but within the first year and having 2 or 3 independent insurance agents as our clients, we radically shifted and just started providing digital marketing and growth services to independent agents. And really, we're like your general contractor for digital growth. So every insurance agent's different. They have different budgets. They have different goals. Our job is to help leverage all the digital tools that are out there and really build the best model for the specific agent to reach their goals. And that really starts with your website. So your website's the foundation of your digital presence. From there, how can we get each agent ranked for all the keywords in their state that people are searching for to drive more traffic and more leads through their website? And we approach the agent's digital presence really from their perspective. So everything we're doing, we're building it for the agent owns it, and it's building long-term value for the agent rather than really just utilizing different tools that may not get the best long-term result. And when we can generate leads for our clients, they tend to stick with us because we can show them it's an investment in growth rather than just an additional marketing expense they can't track.
What would you say from if lead generation is driving traffic is, one of your prime offerings? Give me an idea, and I understand that every market is different, right? If I want to target homeowners insurance, and let's say I'm hoping to get 20 leads a month, what kind of ad spend am I looking at to drive that type of traffic?
Every market's different, and depending on the competition in that geographic area, it's going to dictate the ad spend. But we're really looking at this first from an organic perspective. So rather than think about ad spend, think about creating content on your website that's going to index on Google. So when people in Massachusetts, for example, with Chris, when people are looking for homeowners insurance in Massachusetts, we want Chris Fitz's website to come up first on Google. And that's going to get those organic clicks, which are really free. Yeah. So you're investing in your website to drive organic traffic. And that's really the foundation of their digital presence. And then from there, we can look at, all right, what are some of the keywords that you still really want to write more business with, but we're not able to rank organically as high on the listing as other keywords that we're targeting. And from there, it can vary, but we like to see agents start with at least $1,000 a month in ad spend, and that lets us at least target one or two narrow focuses. So that way we can figure out if the ad campaign's working well or not, and then pivot from there.
So when you say add content, and you're talking about like blog posts and what kind of cadence do you have for that sort of thing? One post a week? What are we looking at there?
Really, we think of them as product pages. So you're going to have the personal and commercial lines drop down in your top nav menu on your website. But from there, you want to create pages of content dedicated to each type of coverage. And that shows Google that you're a relevant resource for that information. And we make that content question and answer style and fully optimized for search. So that way, when people are asking Google or ChatGPT relevant questions related to those topics, your website is going to be pulled in as a resource and shown in search results. So we want to create as much natural content that's providing education to the consumer without offering concrete insurance scenarios and examples, because obviously you need to speak with an independent agent to get answers specifically for you. But if we can give the consumer enough educational information, it kind of puts them in the driver's seat to make an educated decision, and naturally they're going to connect with the agent that they got that information from. We have simple forms, name, phone number, email, what type of insurance you're looking at on those pages. So when someone reads that, they submit their information. Chris gets an email with that information to call that connection or lead, and then he can click a button, add to HawkSoft, and pull that contact information directly into HawkSoft and continue his existing sales process. So we want to be on the front end of that, feeding him as much business as possible. Yep. And not really take him out of the process, just give him more at bats.
Okay. What would you say is Jumpsuit Group's biggest draw to the agents, and what keeps your customers?
Honestly, I think it's results oriented. So really, we need to show the customer, our agents, long-term growth over time for them to continue to invest in their digital presence. We do that in two ways: with complete agency ownership. So if Chris and I were to part ways for whatever reason, everything we've built for him, he's going to continue to own and continue to benefit from. And that's really important, because a lot of website providers aren't structured like that, and you're essentially leasing a digital presence from them. Where we look at it, if we were an independent agent, how would we want our digital presence structured? And we just structure it that way. The leads, we can show month over month growth with keyword rankings, with website traffic and form submissions, and then being able to kind of play out that return on investment story and say, hey, we generated 100 leads last year and you closed 15 of them. With that written premium, you've paid for our services or on the way to pay those off. And on a recurring basis, we can continue to drive business and grow your book of business and really turn your website into a 24/7 salesperson.
What would you say are the biggest challenges with working with independent agents?
They're busy. It's always difficult to get people on the phone. I love taking them out on the golf course, and that goes a long way. But even that, finding a full day where you're not putting out fires. But other than that, it's like they're so focused on servicing their existing book of business and growing from organic referrals, because that's how a majority of my clients have grown before the internet. It's like they're sponsoring Little League, the local church. They're so involved in their community, and the internet hasn't necessarily been a reliable source of growth for them. So how can we kind of help show them there are other ways to grow beyond what they're doing now, and how can we also show them that what you do on the internet can help with retention and drive more referral business. Because it's like you hand someone a business card, they're going to go check out your website, so it helps on that end. But it's also difficult at times to get agents to just kind of get out of the weeds and look at the big picture and understand
Yeah.
how can we add growth that doesn't require more of my time. And I tell clients the onboarding process is always the most time consuming, but once we get ramped up, we deliver monthly reports and results. And at the end of the day, it's the results that keep clients around.
You have a nice page on your website which adjusts budgeting, and I haven't seen this set up like this before, and maybe I haven't looked, but I really like it in that basically you go over small and medium sized agencies from 1 to 5 employees, 5 to 15, and then offer a suggestion of what the budget should be. I think that's extremely helpful, especially for agencies that are looking for growth, that don't know that they need to get into the digital space to do this. And I think that offers kind of a guideline of where you should be. How do you work with someone, maybe it's a agency that's earlier on in their career and they're saying, okay, I'm going to put $1,000 a month into this budget. And that's a big spend for them. I would guess that you would see a lot of agency owners that get impatient, right? I just put $1,000 into this and I've got nothing in return.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kind of settle them and explain this is a long-term play, and that it's going to take a while for this thing to get going?
There's kind of 2 points there. It's like I always try my best to set realistic expectations in the sales process and not oversell. We'd rather undersell and overperform. We could run paid ads tomorrow and start generating leads if that's what the agent wants. But the second that program stops, those leads evaporate. Where the long term keyword growth, we can measure your keyword tracking from day one. So we can show you your website's not even ranked for directors and officers insurance in Massachusetts. But once we publish content and index that on Google, we can start to show early growth that's not necessarily leads quite yet. So, although the leads might not come for a few months, it's going to take content creation to rank for keywords, to drive traffic, to generate leads. So, being able to tell that story ahead of time and show agents early results that are correlated to future lead generation really helps. Really focusing on the most bang for your buck in terms of return on investment. So for agents that are just getting started, it's like we need to focus on your website and organic lead generation and paid advertising first before we really dive into more on the side of social, which is great and it completes that kind of full circle marketing approach. But it's harder to generate leads from people that see your Facebook page that may be looking for something else than people that are searching on Google for small business insurance quotes in your state and find your website. So we like to start where we know we can really make the strongest impact and then set proper long-term expectations.
What's the best part about working with independent agents?
Honestly, it's like every insurance agent owner I meet, they're business owners, they're savvy people, but they're also very connected to their local community. Everyone says insurance is like kind of a boring industry, but it is so based on relationships and being able to grow my network over 10 years with all these different really impressive people has been my favorite part of growing Jumpsuit Group. Chris and I have some mutual friends that we've been introduced to and grown together over the years. And we have people we play golf with together all the time. But also, if I need a question answered or I need anything, I have a group of really smart and passionate people that I can reach out to. And yeah, they all help each other, which is really cool.
What are some of the common mistakes that you see um, agents make when it comes to digital marketing?
They have a ton of tools. So there's an InsurTech tool to solve every problem out there. We find it easy for agents to kind of like just subscribe to these tools as a way of saying they're doing something, but then they're not necessarily maximizing that tool. With all these tools, it can add up to a pretty budget. And then you're looking at this thing and it's like, well, is this really even performing the way I need it to? And I always like to kind of audit a prospect or a client's tech stack to say, all right, what are the most important tools that you're actually using? And how can we put more input into these tools to start to pay for themselves? Because quoting tools are great, but if you don't have leads coming in through the website organically, then you're gonna have a harder time paying for that quoting tool when you're using it a fraction of the time as you could be. So showing kind of like the model of, all right, you got to start here to generate the interest and the leads to then pump into this system to automate some of these processes. And that's what we're getting into now is some of the automated workflows from new lead through the website into closed customer, sending new customer email workflows, cross-selling campaigns. And there's a ton of opportunity on that side because we've been so focused on net new growth to the book of business. Now we're really looking at, all right, here's your book of business. Where are there inefficiencies or rounding opportunities to grow your existing book? And I think that's something we're really excited about digging into.
Talk about some of the other offerings that you have at Jumpsuit Group. I've noticed you do video, also some video production, which I looked at some of your videos. I thought they were extremely well done. And I think that's something that a lot of, us as agency owners can use. They're short, they're professional. Yeah, talk about some of the other offerings that you provide.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, the website is the foundation of your digital presence. That's where, whether it's social media, Google, AI, all that information, you want to drive them to your website. And that's the bottom of the sales funnel where you're going to convert traffic from all these places into leads and new customers. So we got to start with your website. Then what can we do from an organic lead generation perspective? Then we can run paid ads to target keywords that you can't rank for naturally. And then we take care of all your social media management. You mentioned the videos. Those are really great for social media. We used to pack up cameras and drive to the agent and film videos. But now with modern technology and better processes, we can set up basically the scripting and allow the agent to film selfie style videos themselves, send us the raw footage. We overlay your logos. We can cut in referrals or references from happy customers and create those 30-second to a minute long videos that are great for posting on social media and running small social budgets on. That's really great for brand recognition. But again, some of the stuff we're doing on Google is really from a lead generation perspective. From there, I mean, we can help with networking and connecting your website with other powerful websites to drive more traffic. And then we get into the automation side of things where we're building tools that can connect with HawkSoft and pull out information and segment your book of business to send unique messaging and automated notifications to producers to help with cross-selling and customer service requests and all of that. And yeah, trying to give you that full circle marketing to sales tool
Yeah.
where you can subscribe with Jumpsuit Group and we take care of everything. We send you monthly reports, and if you need something updated, you shoot us an email or phone call and we take care of it. And it lets the agent focus on building those relationships and growing their book of business the way they know how.
Last question, and I'm hoping you both can jump in on this. How does Jumpsuit Group utilize and work with HawkSoft?
The first step to that is how can we connect your website and lead generation directly into HawkSoft? And this was actually something Chris and I worked on. He came to me and said, "Hey, this is the problem I'm having. Here's what can we do?" And we started working with HawkSoft, and it's been a great collaborative project where we now integrate our website forms directly into HawkSoft. So if someone submits a form on your website, the agent is going to get that notification, and rather than picking up the phone, calling them, and then manually tracking those leads, now they're going to click a button. That information is going to get added to HawkSoft, and it's also going to get added to a pipeline in our automation tool, Kangaroo, and is going to let the agent see the full life cycle of a lead. So, all right, we had 10 new leads come in this month. How many of these did we connect to? We can move them to a different deal stage. How many of them did we quote? We can move them to another deal stage. And we can really track the ROI of these leads and give the agent a better real-time snapshot of what their lead generation programs are producing. And then from there, we can get into automated communications from whether it's the new customer email to send out their policy information. But again, it's just all API connections built in with HawkSoft. It's all built with the HawkSoft agent in mind. And that's one of the great things I love working with Chris is he's been able to provide some really important insight into how he wants this tool to work. And then we're just going out and building that. We're not building this tool and saying the agent's got to use it the way we built it. It's really from the ground up. So I think it's creating a great product.
Yeah, I would just say that the this latest evolution from Jumpsuit with plugging directly into HawkSoft is very exciting. It's new. I'm very excited about it. Like I said before, we've been working with HawkSoft with Jumpsuit for almost 10 years, and Jumpsuit continues to evolve and do different things for us and different things for other agencies. And every agency functions and operates differently. They have different goals. They have different growth goals, marketing goals, service goals. And Scott mentioned something a little while ago. It rings very true. That is the tech stack in this business. The level of InsurTech that's now out there, and it grows every day, seemingly every hour. I have fallen in that trap, that flashy light syndrome, flashy object syndrome. What's this? Let's try this. This popped up in my feed. Let's look at that. And before you know it, like you said, you're subscribing. You got 15 subscriptions to different things, but you still have to do it. And before you know it, a lot of these things, they overlap in what they do. And you're paying two companies to do similar things, or you're paying two companies to do things that both companies could do them to. Eventually you realize that you need to hire a professional. And by working with Jumpsuit, I sleep better at night knowing that we're not wasting money and that we're getting return on our investment, and that he's local. I don't have to call somebody in Canada, Seattle. I'm not submitting a service ticket. I'm talking directly to them. So that makes a big difference. And the whole interaction with HawkSoft that's a game changer. Being able to automate client touch points, it saves us daily time. We tell them what we want. This is what we want to send out monthly to our clients, or annually to our clients, or semi-annually to our clients. We want this campaign to talk to somebody, 120 days, 90 days, 60 days before renewal. We want to announce this new service or product. How do we do that without spending a lot of time internally and having it write two ways back into the system? And we don't have to worry about the documentation. It's already there. Our account manager can see that the client received an email about a certain renewal or a new product. That sort of stuff is going to be game changing with regards to maximizing our payroll, making sure that our payroll we're maximizing the time that our account managers are spending with our clients rather than doing back office data entry and emails and things like that.
Yeah. So there, so there is Kangaroo. Is that a CRM?
Essentially, it's an integration with HawkSoft that has some CRM functions. Really, just the bare bones that agents need to email and text their book of business.
Yeah.
And we're rolling out more features and building it out, but we really wanted to start with what is the basic functionality that isn't going to be too expensive for agents to, again, add to their tech stack, but give them enough of the functionality where they can eliminate some of these other tools and just have a straight shot into HawkSoft.
Gentlemen, thank you both for your time today, being on this episode and sharing.